Joelicious
Kitchen. Yeah, Joe.
Yo, folks! Welcome back to Joelicious Kitchen. Today, we are craving for something really German, something Oktoberfest-like. And since with coronavirus, Oktoberfest was canceled for this year, we're gonna improvise and do something just to bring the spirit back. And first of all, first things first, we're gonna open the German style beer presented to us by Cavallo Brewing. Just the way they serve it in the tents of Oktoberfest every fall. Cheers and beers. So today, we're gonna make something really authentic, something German, or should I say Eastern European, German. Every country has its version of the pork knuckles. Basically in Germany they call it Schweinshaxe. Oh, Schweinshaxe is basically a German roasted pork knuckles, and we're gonna make it in beer, honey, glaze. In Poland, they call it golonka, which is basically the same thing. So, for the recipe, they recommend using fresh pork knuckles, but since we do not have that in stock all the time, easier to find the smoked ones, this is what we have. 3 or 4 pork knuckles, store-bought. I kept them frozen. I got them out of the freezer yesterday and they're fine right now. We will need salt, parsley, honey, parsnips. 1 parsnip, 1 large parsnip, diced. 1 celery stick, diced as well. 1 onion, quartered. 2 cloves of garlic. We're gonna mince it. 1 to 2 bay leaves. 1 carrot, peeled and diced. 3 of the black peppers, whole black peppers. Oh, 6, my bad. Of course, knuckles themselves. And beer. So we're gonna take a large size boiling pot and we're gonna fill it with water. I'm gonna take the pork knuckles. We're using the pre-smoked ones. Those are easier to use at this point, and we don't need to add any extra salt. If you're using fresh, you gotta cook them for a little bit longer and add more salt. But because we're using smoked, we're not gonna go for that. Also, the recipe calls for about 4 knuckles. We have 3, but they're larger size, so we should be fine. So we're just gonna start boiling the water, and we're gonna put the knuckles right in the water. We want to make sure the water covers the knuckles by several inches. So we're waiting for the water to boil. Once it starts boiling, we're gonna take a little bit of the foam off the top. And after that, we're going to add the bay leaves. Six balls of peppercorn. Carrots. little bit of salt. We're not gonna go heavy because we're making smoke. We're using smoked pork knuckles, so just a little bit. We'd definitely use more if we were using the fresh meat. Take some more of the foam off. Then we're going to add the onions. Parsnips. Celery. And 2 cloves of garlic. I'm going to stir it. Lower the heat to simmer. Cover and leave it on for an hour and a half. Because we're using the pre-cooked, basically pre-cooked pork knuckles. If you're using fresh, it's going to take up to 3 hours. When the meat is falling off the bone is when the knuckles are ready. For right now, we're going to enjoy some authentic German beer created by Cavallo Brewing, the craft brewery. All right, folks, it's been 1 hour and 30 minutes. At this point, we're gonna take the lid off. We got a really nice soup going on here right now. And in the process, we added some parsley flakes. You can use fresh parsley. I'm out of fresh parsley right now, but this works just fine. So we added that. We're gonna give it another stir. Oh, it smells so good. So now we're gonna turn the stove off and carefully transfer the knuckles to the bacon glassware pan, square pan like this, 8 by 8 inches. Look at that. It's falling off the bone just the way we need it. Just the way we need it. Perfect. Now this one's kind of heavy. Ooh. This one's kind of heavy. All right. I'm going to put them close enough to each other so they barely touch each other. And this is the biggest one right there. All right. So now we're gonna make the honey beer glaze. To do that, we're gonna open some really good Cavallo Brewing Irish Red. You can use any beer you want. We're gonna add. This is a big bottle, 750 milliliters. We're gonna add half of it, if that. Basically, a can of beer or a small bottle of beer is what we're looking for. So maybe 1/3, close close to a half of the bottle. We're gonna do that. Then we're gonna add some honey. About 2 to 4 tablespoons. And finally, we will need some of this really good, thick broth. Let's use this. I'm gonna add that. All the rest of the broth you can keep for as a base for the soup, for your favorite soup. All right, we're gonna start boiling this on low to medium. We're gonna stir it and make sure the honey dissolves. Once it dissolves, we're ready to proceed to step number 2, 3. At this point, we want to start the oven and get it going at 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Once the honey is dissolved, we're going to turn off the heat and gently pour the sauce over the knuckles. After that, we're going to take the knuckles and put them in the oven for 30 to 45 minutes. Once the meat is tender and juicy and cooked through, we're going to take it out and enjoy it with some beer and sauerkraut. Stay tuned. All right, folks. Schweinshaxe is out of the oven. We're gonna try it and see how it is. All right, we're gonna try some authentic Polish sauerkraut. And of course some super nice, sour, salty and sour pickles from Germany. But first things first, we're gonna try the leg. Look at that. Look at how nice and juicy it is. Look at that. All right, moment of glory. This, folks, is a taste of Germany. Wunderbar. Feels like I'm back in Oktoberfest. Folks, stay tuned. We're back in business. Joelicious Kitchen is back on the market. So next week, we're gonna make something Joelicious again. Joe here. Cheers and beers.
Kitchen. Yeah, Joe.